The Fed just announced that they're coming out with Fednow, a program that looks to crush the use of Xrp Odl by Ripple Labs. USDC's market cap is continuing to fall as traders and crypto enthusiasts out there wonder, how much exposure do crypto companies have keeping their cash in traditional banks? And I wanted to take a few seconds to wish all my Patties out there a happy St. Patrick's Day. Yep, I'm rocking the St. Patrick's Day shirt with the green background. I'll be doing it all day today, celebrating St. Patrick's Day with you. And to continue with the St. Patrick's Day tradition, the heat map blessed us with a lot of green. Yep, green all day. And punch someone if they're not wearing green. Uh-oh, Gary's not wearing green. Someone should punch him. 26,808, Bitcoin up 8% last 24 hours, making another move to 27. ETH sitting at 1736. BNB a big mover yesterday, 329, up almost 5%. XRP highlight of the show, sitting at 37.2, up 3% last 24. XLM, other friend of the channel, 8.5, up 1%. USDC, we know about their exposure, but listen to this. USDC's supply has plunged by 21 billion from its peak as banking turmoil scares crypto investors. Remember, to get into crypto, we still need traditional banks. How do you get into crypto? You need cash. You have to turn your cash into crypto. So when these crypto companies have cash, well, they got to put it in banks, right? We don't put it under our mattresses. But maybe we should with what's been happening with banks lately. But these crypto companies put their assets in cash, right? Their reserves and so forth. So people are like, yo, Circle's USDC, like, oh my gosh, a whole bunch of those reserves are in banks. That's why Circle lost. What happened to USDC? Originally, the market didn't know how much of Circle's reserves were in SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. It was known that 25% of Circle's total reserves were held in cash at banks, but the breakdown was not clear. It was then confirmed by Circle that 8.25% of their money, amounting to 3.3 billion in reserves, was held at SVB. The sell-off during this period of doubt and thereafter was aggressive. USDT pegged all the way on down to 88.7 cents. It has since repegged, but market cap, people losing faith in USDC. Check it out. At a high of 43.5 billion. And we've seen even over these last several days, even after we found out that Silicon Valley Bank was going to be bailed out by Janet Yellen and the Fed, and oh, we're going to get to the Fed later, because it appears that the Fed is trying to, crush XRP Odl Ripple Labs. But check it out. We have since seen, since they regained their peg, they lost even more market cap, over 3 billion worth. In fact, when we look at that 43.5 billion here, and now looking on down to just under 37, you're looking almost at a 20% loss in market cap in USDC. And that is even while Circle's USDC didn't even lose any of their money at the end. How messed up is that? That's how finicky the market is. But now we got to start talking about the Fed. U.S. Fed to launch Fednow in July, countering Ripple. Fednow is a service that allows banks to transfer funds speedily across border financial system in the country. Described as a modern instant payment service, the platform was first announced in 2019, but the Fed plans to activate the service while it was delayed, and they are now planning on doing it in the next few months during the height of all of this crypto fear that's been going around by regulators out there. In fact, by the way, did you know whoever buys Silicon Valley Bank, that's why I brought up this whole USDC story, whoever buys Silicon Valley Bank, you know what the Fed said? FDIC. You know what they said? They said, hey, whoever buys Silicon Valley Bank, part of the agreement is you have to give up the entire crypto business of that. That's messed up. That is directly targeting crypto. Then why the hell else would they buy SVB? Come on, everyone. Back to the Fed. From the first week of April, the Fed will begin certifying participating banks ahead of the launch. Those willing to take part will have to complete a customer testing and certification program. Ken Montgomery, first vice president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and the Fednow program executive, wants financial institutions to gear up ahead for launch. We already have ODL, but the problem is the U.S. regulators have screwed it up so bad that businesses don't want to use it in the United States. So instead, the Fed is like, we're going to rescue you. We're going to come up with Fednow. All of this out there designed to put crypto out of business. Here we go from Ken Montgomery. We couldn't be more excited about the forthcoming Fednow launch. We will enable every participating financial institution, the smallest to the largest, from all corners of the country, to offer a modern instant payment solution. With the launch drawing near, we will urge financial institutions and their industry partners to move full steam ahead with preparations to join the Fednow service. We already had a service that moved money faster than that. Come on, we had ODL settlement within seconds. Stellar using USDC was moving money in seconds. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, but we know what it is. The Fed wants control, right? They want us all to suck on that federal government teat. You see what you're looking at on the screen? That's an ice waterfall. That's right. It's only available a few months out of the year for you to climb and hike and actually see. Otherwise, this waterfall goes unnoticed. I will have this video linked at the end of this one so you can check out my adventures outside of crypto. All right, so let's just explain these two things that are happening in today's video. First, the USDC thing. When companies have reserves, when companies have surplus, even traditional banks, they put their money in bonds, they put their money in banks cash, right? There's always somewhere where they're putting their money. They just don't leave it under the mattress, okay? Recently, we've seen banks have been screwed because of the bond gap. I already did a video on it. If you want it, I'll have that linked at the end of this one too. But banks now, right, with cash. Think of Silicon Valley Bank, right, holding Circle's USDC reserves. There's always someone holding something, right? You always keep it somewhere else, insured and so forth. The problem is, though, people are now looking at this going, well, wait a minute. If U.S. banks are on some soft footing, what about all the reserves held at those U.S. banks? Not just crypto companies, but all companies' reserves held at these banks. With Circle having exposure like that, and the weird thing about Circle, right, they're good, bit them in the butt. Their good was the fact they said, hey, we have cash reserves, we have cash, we are a stable coin, we're a one-to-one backed stable coin with lots of liquidity. The problem is, yeah, their liquidity held at banks. People are like, well, the bank you held it at is having some problems, so we're going to start withdrawing from you. Almost 20% withdrawal in market cap. That is crazy, everyone. Not as crazy, though, as St. Patrick's Day. Make sure you rock your green today, everyone. Now, Fednow. Seriously, it seems like everything out there has been coordinated against Ripple Labs ODL and XRP. Think of what ODL, XRP, even XLM, what Stellar's XLM does. Yeah, I've got the hat here, everyone. Come on now. But think about it. Those are all about moving money instantaneously, like email. So why does the Fed have to do it? Oh, that's right, because they want control. See, the Fed wants you to use their program, even though there's technology out there that's working, that businesses are sending millions and millions of dollars to each other with. The Fed's like, yeah, we got something to help you out. So it seems very orchestrated that all this heavy pressure on crypto is coming now, just as the Fed starts announcing that they're going to be launching their Fednow program, which does the exact same thing as Ripple's ODL and Stellar's USD settlement, one peer-to-peer, one bank B2B action. Guys, it's the Fed. The Fed is trying to crush crypto. It's obvious. And with the Fednow launch, well, just said, hey, we're going to be doing it in a few months. Can't get any more obvious. Now, I told you earlier about the bond action. Yeah, if you want to know why the markets got screwed up, that's the bond stuff right here. Easy explanation on what's happening with banks. Ice waterfall action and all my other adventures outside of crypto, that's this right here. That ice waterfall, by the way, is in Colorado. It is. It's only available a couple months a year. Once it freezes over thick enough, they actually allow you to climb and hike on there. Cool stuff. All right, everyone, I'm going to go do a workout this morning. Until more news breaks, you cool cats have a great rest of your St. Patrick's Day.